In short, what genes are to genetics, memes are to memetics.
So a gene is a unit of biologically spreadable information that wants to survive and multiply. And a meme is a cultural unit of information that wants to survive and multiply.
A gene is a discrete unit of biological information, and without exception, all living organisms are made up of genes. Conversely, a meme is a discrete unit of cultural information, and without exception, all ideas are made up of memes. Bad Luck Brian is a meme. The hunting techniques of the Inuit tribe are memes. The Marxist theory of dialectical materialism is a meme, and culture as such is a meme. The broader and bigger the idea, the more appropriate it is to refer to it as a meme complex rather than a discrete meme. So we can say that every verse in the Bible is a meme, as well as the symbol of the cross in each of the different religious hymns. But together, this collection of memes makes up the meme complex of Christianity. Although it's still perfectly acceptable to refer to Christianity as simply a meme. Just as the goal of every gene is to replicate itself into future generations, the proverbial goal of every meme is to spread itself across as many human hosts as possible. Memes can be thought of as individual pieces of software that attempt to make copies of themselves across the biological hardware that are human beings. Different types of software are able to replicate themselves with different levels of success. Religions like Christianity and Islam are good examples of memes that replicated themselves very quickly and very durably, given they are still the largest religions today. Note that I am not yet making a judgment as to which memes are better than others in some moral sense. I am simply pointing to the fact that some memes are better at spreading than others because they are more memetically fit. And so the obvious question arises, what determines the memetic fitness of a given meme? This is where the concept of archetypes comes into play.
The meme idea is very interesting, and I do think that there are contagious ideas, but that needs to be chased down much deeper because there are ideas that are so contagious that we've actually adapted to them biologically. And once that happens, they're no longer merely memes. They're something else. They're built into us.
Think of it like this. Some software can offer functionality to the hardware it's installed on. Other software can corrupt and destroy the hard drive. Similarly, some memes cause behaviors that can increase or decrease the genetic fitness of their human hosts. As our ancestors evolved, the human psyche adapted itself to be more receptive to the memes that cause behaviors that increase genetic fitness. You may know that the reason we find the taste of sugar and fat so compelling is because we evolved to consume as much of it as we could when we came across it in our evolutionary past. By the same token, we find certain ideas and memes more compelling than others because they caused behaviors in our evolutionary ancestors that increased their genetic fitness, and we call those memes the archetypes.
Could you imagine a scenario where a meme had sufficient functional adaptive significance so that the individuals who acted it out gained a reproductive edge?
Yes.
Okay. So then you could imagine a situation where there was, I think I've got this right, a Baldwin effect between the meme and the genome.
Yes.
Okay. So then could you imagine an effect where the heroic hunters of the past who decided to cease acting like prey animals, maybe when they got rocks or sticks, were acting under the impulse that facing down the predator was the appropriate strategy? I would say that that's essentially the same pattern of archetype evolution that's implicit in the Jungian theoretical
Well, that's
model.
very interesting because that suggests that Jungian archetypes might be genetically assimilated via the Baldwin effect.
Yes,
Now, that's
yes.
a fascinating idea.
Yes.
Archetypes are the memes that the human psyche has evolved to find inherently compelling, and the nature of these archetypes can be understood by analyzing the results of what is called convergent memetic evolution. When it comes to genetic evolution, there are two ways that biological features can evolve in a given species: convergent evolution and divergent evolution. Divergent evolution is when a species evolves a given biological trait and then passes that trait onto its descendants, which differentiate into different species. For example, all mammals descended from a common ancestor, which is why human beings and whales have more similar bone structures than whales and fish. That's why aquatic mammals' tails go up and down and fishes' tails go side to side. Convergent evolution is when different species evolve the same biological trait without inheriting it from a common ancestor. Insects, bats, and birds all converged on the biological trait of having wings while maintaining entirely separate genetic lineages. The key thing to understand is that mimetic evolution also occurs convergently or divergently. Divergent mimetic evolution is the standard process we think of when we talk about ideas being spread from one human being to another. The following is an excellent demonstration of divergent mimetic evolution.
If you look at it, I mean, kind of historically, all of acting, that we celebrate, the kernel of that all started at that theater, at the Moscow Art Theaters.
Really?
Stanislavski and Chekhov, yeah. The first play they did was The Seagull. Basically, all theater, all acting up until that point was very presentational. It was very go to the front of the stage and kind of proclaim to the audience, face outward. And this method that he came up with was really about realism on stage. So if you're drinking tea in a scene, really drink tea. Turn your back to the audience. Talk as if you're actually in the situation. And in 1933, they went on a world tour, and that changed acting. All of the sort of great American theater training, from the group theater with Strasberg and Uta-Hagen, it all came out of their exposure to this one play. Nobody had ever seen acting like that. And it all started at this school.
This is an example of divergent mimetic evolution. But convergent mimetic evolution is when different cultures, completely separated by time and geography, develop ideas that converge on the same patterns and concepts. And the continuity of those patterns and concepts are what informs our understanding of the archetypes.
This is why there's commonalities in mythologies. It's like if you put enough people together in enough different places, the commonality of the groups of people, there, because of the grounding in common motivation and emotion and embodiment, because we're embodied, means that they're going to generate hierarchies that are broadly similar, with strategies of success within those hierarchies that are broadly similar, with descriptions of the strategies that are broadly similar.